So we finally have some information on Dragon Age the Veilguard, a companion trailer, a gameplay reveal, and some snippets of information from BioWare themselves on their social media accounts. Now that my initial excitement has calmed down, as much as it could, I can finally review the trailers again and pick up a few things. So here are 10 things I've noticed so far about Dragon Age of the Veilguard. This video does contain spoilers for all Dragon Age games, so if you're new to the series and do want to check it out, I highly recommend that you play it before watching. Number 1, Varric's pitch. Now, I'm fully aware that not everyone liked the companion trailer that was first put out. Personally, I did, and the reason why is because of Veilguard. He was narrating it and it got me thinking as to why the hell it was so exaggerated and not so Dragon Age-like. Personally, I think it's because of Veilguard. Veilguard is canonically an author in the games. He has a popular book series. A lot of his stories are an exaggeration of what actually happened. For example, Hawke's adventures in Dragon Age 2. Everyone who knows Veilguard knows that he's not a reliable source for accurate information. Hell, even in Dragon Age 2, he's been blowing things out of proportion to get a reaction out of Cassandra.
Bullshit. That's not what really happened.
Does that not match the story you've heard, Seeker?
I'm not interested in stories. I came to hear the truth.
Well, what makes you think I know the truth?
Don't lie to me! You knew her even before she became the champion.
In Dragon Age Inquisition, the Iron Bull also calls out on his bull.
I was reading your stuff. Where do your bad guys come from?
Well, some of them come from Tevinter, and some are Ben Hazrath spies. But I like the stories where the villain was the man beside you the whole time. The best villains don't see themselves as evil. They're fighting for a good cause, willing to get their hands dirty.
All right, that's really deep and all, but I meant where do the bad guys come from, literally. The way you write it, it's like they just fall from the sky and land on top of the hero.
I like to leave some things to the reader's imagination.
The few teasers we got from BioWare about the Veilguard did have Veilguard narrating it, even saying we need a hero. My belief is that the trailer was a pitch from Veilguard. He totally believes his friends are these amazing heroes who will save the world. And that is what we've been planning to do since the last game. I don't think these are accurate representations of any of the characters, it's just Veilguard being Veilguard. So what if he lies about them? As long as he gets to sell another book to us, right? Number 2, Rook's name. Like every protagonist in the Dragon Age series, they all go by a last name. In this case, it's Rook. Seems fitting that BioWare picked this name. The Rook piece in chess is considered the second most powerful piece on the board, next to the Queen. Rooks are very useful, especially towards the end of a match, as it can sweep the board in one move. Considering this game has choices, Rook is going to make a huge one to finish the game. The word Rook comes from the Persian word Rook, which means chariot, which can symbolize power or glory within war. And I can't help but notice, chess pieces, isn't that Solas's favorite game? Number 3, Tevinter. Now, I get why Dorian said Ferelden was so ugly. The culture shock is phenomenal, but it also makes sense as to why Tevinter is so advanced compared to the rest of Thedas. Tevinter was originally part of the ancient Elven Empire during Solas's time. Makes me wonder what other secrets are hiding here. Speaking of Dorian, it also seems that the Venatori cult is still around. What happened to Dorian? Wasn't he supposed to round them up in Inquisition? I know taking a cult isn't easy, let alone the Tevinter Imperium, but it makes me wonder how he's doing all this time. Please be okay. Number 4, Griffins. During the companion trailer, we were introduced to a Grey Warden named Darvin, who seems to be with a Griffin. They were associated with the Grey Wardens who would use them to ride into battle until they became distinct during the Exalted Age. However, at the end of Dragon Age Last Flight, there was a discovery of hidden griffin eggs, which I can only assume this is where Darvin's griffin came from. Number 5, Unstable Demons. As Solas rips the veil open, demons come pouring out into Mithrathas. Like everyone else, I couldn't help but notice how different the demons look. More so that they seem like a shell of themselves. Their skeletal features are showing and it looks like lyrium veins are coming through. Sure, it could be a redesign choice, but what if they look like this on purpose? Maybe Solas is limiting their powers to fully manifest in order to keep control over the Evinurius when they come through. Remember, Solas is the one who locked them away, so it's better to be safe than sorry. Number 6, Solas's dagger. Over the course of the past teasers for this game, and with Dragon Age Tevinter Nights, the lyrium idol has made an appearance. It seems to be a pivotal item in Solas's plan. The more I look at the dagger that Solas is using to tear the veil open, the more I start to wonder, is this the lyrium idol? Was it hiding within it? I also couldn't help but remember what Meryl said about Fen'Harel in Dragon Age 2.
The carvings tell a story of the betrayal. The dread wolf tricking all the gods away from the world. Long ago, there were 2 clans of gods. The Creators looked after the people. The Forgotten Ones preyed upon us. and one god who was neither. Fan Harel, the Dread Wolf. He was kin to the Creators, and in the old days often helped them in their endless war against the Forgotten Ones.
So this Dreadwolf was a god of war?
Much worse. A trickster. Fan Harel was clever. He could walk among both clans of gods without fear, and both believed he was one of them. He went to each side and told them the other had forged a terrible weapon, a blade that would end the war. He told the Creators it was forged in the heavens, and the Forgotten Ones that it was hidden in the abyss. And when the gods went seeking it, he sealed them both in their realms forever. Now he alone is left in the world.
Also, it seems that Rook is holding the same dagger in the key art for Dragon Age the Veilguard. The dagger is a critical item that will most likely use again to save Thetis. Could it be possible that the same fate would happen to Rook? Would we seal everything and end everything and be left alone in the world? Number 7. The Seven Evanuris. While Solas is tearing down the veil, we can see he is surrounded by elven statues of what looks to be the Evanuris, all 7 of them. Now we know the story of how Solas tricked them and managed to seal them away, but how does Solas expect things to go when they come back? Taking himself, Fen Harel, and Mythal out of the equation, we are only left with 7 Evanuris. I couldn't help but notice we have 7 companions in the Veilguard. Could there be a correlation here? Remember how Mythal was a wisp that came to Flemeth? Or what about at the end of Inquisition, where Mythal seems to be putting another part of her through the Illuvian, right after Solas seems to absorb her or her powers?
The failure was mine. I should pay the price. But the people, they need me. I am so sorry.
I am sorry as well, old friend.
What if Solas' plan doesn't work? Remember, I think he isn't letting the full potential of the Veil to be unleashed for the sake of himself. Will the Evaneers go after the Veilguard and attempt to have a fully working body? Number 8. Solas' redemption. Solas can be redeemed, giving the hints that BioWare devs have left with us the final choice in the Trespasser DLC. Solas to me does still seem like he wants to be stopped. I know that's probably hard to believe when this man is killing thousands in the process, but this look told me everything. Solas let his guard down just for a second when he saw his friend, the same way he did when he saw the Inquisitor in the Trespasser DLC.
That should give us more time. I suspect you have questions.
I strongly believe Solas doesn't want to do this anymore, but feels like he has to because he's too far into it. If there's a chance for redemption, will you let Solas take it? Number 9. Varric's death. Now, this one I hope I'm wrong about, but I'm really scared that I'm right. Right before Veilguard leaves to try and talk to Solas, he says one thing that catches my attention.
Rook, take care of the team for me.
It's as if he knows his time has come and he's saying goodbye to us, the player, wanting us to take care of everything. We all know a few words won't work with Solas. I mean, it didn't even when you played as a Romance Inquisitor, which I did and I'm still very upset about. So why would Veilguard even try? Well, it's because he's an optimistic person, and not only that, I fully believe he sees Anders in this moment. Solas is another friend who's making a wrong decision. If Veilguard can save Solas, it's like he's redeeming himself for not being able to save Anders from justice in Dragon Age 2.
The Circle has failed us, Orsino. Even you should be able to see that. The time has come to act. There can be no half measures.
Anders, what have you done?
There can be no turning back.
Right after Solas obliterates Bianca and Rook takes down the statue, 2 demons appear and turn their sights below the steps, right where Veilguard was. Could this mean Veilguard will be killed in the crossfire? I don't believe Solas would kill him on purpose, which makes this all the more heartbreaking for everyone. Also, let's not forget, Veilguard isn't technically a companion of the Veilguard like he was in Dragon Age 2 or Inquisition. Number 10, the two demons. Once the veil tears open, these two demon-like creature beings stand beside Solus. At first glance, I assumed they were twisted versions of demons because the ritual was interrupted by Rook. But upon closer inspection, I think they're actually two of the Evanuris, which explains Solus's expression right here. He looks terrified. The one on the left is possibly Gillinan, known as the Mother of Hala, goddess of guides and navigation. According to the Dalish elves, Gillinan was depicted as this beautiful ethereal being. So why does she look like a mangled monster here? If you don't know the story of Gillinan, here's a quick summary. Gillinan wasn't considered a goddess at first. She was dying in a forest after encountering a hunter. Desperate to live, she prayed to the gods for help, and thus Andruil, another Evanuris, helps her by turning her into the first Hala so that she may find her way back home. Sounds very sweet, right? But what if this is what Gillinan actually turned into, a twisted monster through magic? I mean, the hollow horns kind of resemble what's going on in her head here. Gillinan was also known as a creator of creatures and monsters. Could this also be an aspect of her appearance? Kind of like a Dr. Frankenstein thing going on? Next on the right, I'm still debating on who this could be, since I'm getting a strong sense that it could be one of the twins, Falandin, the god of death and fortune, or Dirthaman, the elven god of secrets and knowledge. Let's start with Falandin first. According to legend, Falandin was revered as someone who would guide the elven people beyond the Fade. However, Solus makes a comment about him in the Inquisition, and this is what he had to say.
Falandin, overseer of funerals and guide to the elven dead. I have heard the Dalish invoke him on their deathbed, or before quests from which they expect no return.
My clan's hunters asked for his blessing when we fought bandits. Our keeper taught them the prayers.
I do not believe they sing songs about Falandin's vanity.
Go ahead. You must have a legend for us.
It is said Falandin's appetite for adulation was so great, he began wars to amass more worshippers. The blood of those who wouldn't bow low filled lakes as wide as oceans. Lethal rallied the gods once the shadow of Falandin's hunger stretched across her own people. It was almost too late. Falandin only surrendered when his brethren bloodied him in his own temple.
I'm surprised they let such a monster live.
One does not lightly kill a god, Inquisitor, even in legend.
Did ancient elves believe all their gods so terrifying?
Yes, I believe they did.
My clan never told a story like that about Falandin.
The further the Dalish spread, the further their stories branch and grow. Never mistake them for arbiters of true elven culture.
No story is dramatic if the people in it act sensibly.
Yes. Most tales paint Falandin's stubbornness second only to his self-regard.
Falandin is a power-hungry being, and judging by Solus's expression, he has every right to be worried. Now, if this is his twin brother Dirthaman, legends say that he provides the elves with counsel. However, it seems like he was one of the Evanuris elven mages who ruled as a maleficent posit over the Elvenon, enslaving them and branding them with Velasleen, which explains this scene even more with my Llewellyn.
The truth. Your face. The Velasleen. In my journeys in the Fade, I have seen things. I have discovered what those marks mean.
They honor the elven gods.
No. They are slave markings. Or at least they were in the time of ancient Alathan.
My clan's keeper said they honored the gods. These are their symbols.
Yes, that's right. A noble would mark his slaves to honor the god he worshipped. After Alathan fell, the Dalish forgot.
Whoever these two are, they seem to have a huge part in the plot of the Veilguard, as they are both on the key art for the game. In conclusion, I think we're screwed. Who knows what the Evanuris has planned for us, but all I know is Solus isn't ready to be a part of this. Once again, his plans fell apart. Well, that's my quick overview and 10 things that I noticed about the Dragon Age Veilguard trailers, and I'm very excited about this game. So if you guys would like more videos like this, maybe a theory video, more of an analysis video focusing on the Evanuris and what they could be planning, I'd be happy to do that because Dragon Age is my favorite game, so I'm pretty excited about this. Let me know in the comments of what you think. If you guys notice anything else that I missed, please let me know. I would love to discuss this with you. And be sure to subscribe and hit the bell button so you get more Dragon Age content from me, because I will definitely be playing this game later this year. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!